Over 2 decades later, Thailand's Supreme Court orders 20th Century Fox, the producers of the Beach movie, to pay 10 million baht to restore Maya Bay. The Thai government reveals who's applied for the long-term resident visa so far, and more flights open between Taiwan, Thailand, and Australia. All this is coming up in today's program. You're watching Thailand News Today, bringing you the latest top stories in Thailand and beyond. My name is Jet Gunther, and in our first story, today Thailand's Supreme Court ruled that Hollywood movie company 20th Century Fox, now renamed 20th Century Studios, is required to pay 10 million baht in environmental damages caused by the movie The Beach back in 2000, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Filming for The Beach began at Maya Bay at the Phi Phi Islands in Krabi Province, southern Thailand in 1998. The bay became a world-famous tourist destination following the success of the film, but The Beach hasn't been the same since. A lawsuit was filed against the movie company for offenses under Thailand's National Park Act and National Environmental Quality Promotion and Conservation Act. Lawsuits were also filed against Thailand's Forestry Department for giving the film production company the green light to, quote, renovate Maya Bay to make the movie picture perfect. The renovations had devastating and lasting effects on Phi Phi Island's natural environment. The uprooting of plants at Maya Beach and leveling of barrier-forming sand dunes has led to mass soil erosion, say environmentalists. Maya Bay was previously protected against soil erosion by native plants whose roots kept the sand together. Without the plants, all the sand washed away into the sea. The Supreme Court has demanded Thailand's Department of Forestry to use the 10 million baht from 20th Century Studios to restore the natural environment at Maya Bay to its natural state. The 250-meter beach at Maya Bay reopened in January this year after a 3.5-year closure. It opened to tourists under strict environmental protection measures with a maximum of 375 tourists per hour between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. In July, the bay closed again for another period of environmental restoration. Authorities planned for the bay to reopen again on October 1st in a few weeks. However, with today's news, perhaps the bay will remain closed until further notice. The Thai government predicted 1 million rich foreigners would snap up new long-term resident visas when the scheme was launched on September the 1st. In the first 12 days, the LTR visa has so far received 400 applications. Officials are framing the numbers so far as a glimpse of what's to come as the program gains traction. The Deputy Secretary General of the Board of Investment gave an interview in Bangkok where he confirmed that about 40% of the people who have applied for the LTR visa were retirees. Another 30% of applicants were digital nomads trying to make Thailand their home base to work remotely. The remaining 30% were split between wealthy global citizens and highly skilled professionals. Americans were the largest demographic to jump on the new LTR visa program, with about 20% of applications coming from the US. China was the second largest demographic, with about 15% of the applications so far, followed by the UK at 10%. In the 4 years since launching the previous visa scheme to attract long-term expats to the kingdom, just 1,200 people submitted applications for the Smart Visa program. So, the 400 applicants this month could be called an improvement in comparison. Thailand's strategy is to market to wealthy people not just from around the world, but also domestically. The LTR visa is hoping to attract some of the 300,000 foreigners already living in the country using a number of different visa options at the moment, such as retirement visas, education visas, business visas, or family-related visas. After a global nosedive in tourism, countries around the world are brainstorming plans to attract tourists and revenue. Before the pandemic, tourism made up 12% of Thailand's GDP. Authorities are hoping that this new program will generate 1 trillion baht per year in revenue, so those 400 applicants had better be multi-billionaires to meet that target.
Thinking of investing, but don't know where to start? Ever heard of AAA FX?
What is AAAFX?
Good question. Look no further than AAAFX, your choice for trading and investing. Low commissions and spread with fast execution. They're trustworthy and have been offering services since 2008. You can invest using various deposit methods, including crypto, with negative balance protection and 100% matching deposit bonus. Choose AAAFX and enter the lucrative market of trading. Visit AAAFX.com.
China Airlines announced the good news that it intends to launch flights to Chiang Mai in Thailand. The bad news is that it won't happen until next year. The Taiwan-based airline revealed on the day it reopened its borders that flights to the northern city of Chiang Mai will take off on January the 20th next year. The state-owned flag carrier revealed the flight to Chiang Mai is part of the airline's plan to attract more transit passengers to change flights in Taiwan on their way to Europe and the US. The airline also revealed that the number of its flights will increase by 30%, with those to Southeast Asia increase by 50% in the final quarter of this year. China Airlines added that in early 2023, there will be 17 destinations available in Southeast Asia, including flights to Cebu in the Philippines, Bali, Australia, and New Zealand. Sydney to Taipei and Melbourne to Taipei will be increased from their current 2 flights a week to 3 flights a week in October and November and 4 times a week in December. Brisbane to Taipei increases from 1 flight a week to 3 starting next month, while a flight to Auckland will be added to the Brisbane service between October and December of 2022. The flights to Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane all feature the modern Airbus A350. On September the 30th, Thailand's Constitutional Court will read the verdict on suspended Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's 8-year term limit. According to Section 158 of Thailand's constitution, the Prime Minister shall not hold office for more than 8 years in total, whether or not holding consecutive terms. His opponents say Prayut reached his 8-year limit serving as PM in August after becoming the nation's premier in 2014, just a few months after he led a coup to oust the elected government of Yingluck Shinawatra. However, his supporters argue that his tenure actually started in 2017 when the king ratified a new constitution drafted by the military junta government. Other Prayut supporters argue that his premiership actually started as late as 2019, the date when Prayut began his second 4-year term under the new constitution. The Constitutional Court voted to suspend Prayut from his ministerial duties on August the 24th while they reach a verdict on when his tenure starts and ends. Deputy Prime Minister Prawit Wongsuwan stepped in as acting Prime Minister until a decision is made on Prayut. If the court rules that Prayut's premiership began in 2017 or 19, Prayut can continue as Prime Minister of Thailand. 8 days after Prayut's suspension, he submitted a 30-page document to the Constitutional Court regarding his 8-year term limit for the court's consideration. Police have handed pro wake skater Daniel Grant a 5,000 baht fine and a 1-month suspended jail term for his wake skating stunt in the Bangkok floods. The 24-year-old water sports champion was found guilty of causing danger to and obstructing traffic for wake skating on the flooded Phahonyothin Road outside Bangkok University last week. After Klong Luang police caught wind of his video, which went viral on social media, they summoned him to acknowledge the charges pressed against him. The half-Thai, half-English water sportsman set the record for the youngest world champion in wakeboarding history when he won the 2010 WWA Wake Park World Championship in 2010. Daniel has been charged with causing danger to traffic, violating Thailand's Traffic Act and Highway Act. Many netizens showed their support for Daniel's abilities, while others criticized him for causing danger to himself and others on the road. And that's all for our report. The show will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Thai time. But before me, stay tuned for Good Morning Thailand at 10 a.m. Thai time, where Natty, Jay, and Sarah go live and discuss the morning's top stories. See you there.